Recent events reveal a deeper pattern in international relations, one that deserves our careful reflection. The United States has once again leveled accusations against Iran, claiming it orchestrates Houthi military operations in Yemen and the Red Sea. What might we learn from this recurring focus on Iran's nuclear program? Perhaps it speaks to broader anxieties about shifting power dynamics in a changing world. Meanwhile, Russia and China respond with a thoughtful, measured approach. Their public diplomatic engagement, backed by clear, firm statements, suggests a deliberate strategy that values transparency over confrontation. Consider the significance of what transpired on March 10th. Russian, Iranian, and Chinese warships gathered at Iran's port of Chabahar to begin their joint maritime security belt 2025 exercises. What does this fifth naval exercise since 2019 tell us about our evolving global landscape? As President Trump disrupts traditional Western alliances, these nations quietly strengthen their bonds through consistent military cooperation. Their actions speak to a profound realignment, not merely tactical positioning, but a philosophical challenge to the Western-led global order. 5 days later came a moment of potential historical significance. Beijing hosted deputy foreign ministers from these three nations to address the Iranian nuclear crisis directly. In our fractured world filled with conflicts that demand attention, could this meeting represent a turning point worthy of deeper contemplation? The joint statement that emerged reflects a thoughtful approach to diplomacy, affirming United Nations Security Council Resolution 2231 and the Iranian nuclear deal with quiet confidence. These nations demonstrate a commitment to restraint, creating space for diplomatic progress in a world often dominated by reactionary politics. Their stance against illegal sanctions invites us to consider alternative pathways forward. Their philosophy emphasizes mutual respect and diplomatic engagement over confrontation and force. Perhaps most intriguing is how Iran's influence has evolved beyond these immediate concerns. This transformation raises profound questions about how power redistributes itself in our interconnected world. Since 2024, Iran has claimed full membership in both BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Think about it. Iran's connections with non-Western powers have never been stronger. These diplomatic moves reflect a dramatic shift in global power dynamics. The BRICS nations, with Russia and China leading the charge, are boldly asserting their independence and reshaping our world order. Can you see how these countries are building alternative security structures? Their economic, political, and security partnerships are changing everything. As we journey through Iran's nuclear history and motivations, keep these recent developments in your mind. They are not just political maneuvers, they are proof of shifting global diplomacy and the rising influence of non-Western alliances. Ready to dive deeper? Let's trace Iran's nuclear ambitions from their surprising origins to today's complex reality. Would you believe Iran's nuclear program began with American support? In the 1950s, President Eisenhower's Atoms for Peace program kick-started their nuclear journey. This well-intentioned initiative aimed to share peaceful nuclear power with the world, setting Iran on its nuclear path. Then came the earthquake of 1979. The Iranian Islamic Revolution changed everything. The new leadership saw nuclear capability as both a symbol of national pride and a security necessity. Their intensified efforts triggered the first international alarm bells. The bloody Iran-Iraq war of the 1980s pushed the nuclear program into high gear. How would you respond to chemical weapon attacks from Iraq? Well, Iran saw nuclear technology as its shield against future threats. Despite mounting global pressure and harsh sanctions, Iran's resolve only hardened during this critical period. What drives a nation to pursue such a controversial path? For Iran, nuclear capability represents a complex web of strategic, political, and security motivations. Iran sees its nuclear program as essential self-defense against Western powers and regional enemies. But there is more to this story than just security. The program stands as a powerful symbol of national achievement and technological powers. For Iranian leaders, mastering nuclear technology means something profound, a step toward true independence and freedom from foreign control. Looking at the bigger picture, what's really driving Iran's nuclear program? It's not just about atoms, it's about power and influence in changing world order. Why Iran joined BRICS? This bold move reveals Iran's strategy to challenge Western dominance and help build a world where multiple powers share the global stage. Remember 2015, the landmark Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, abbreviation as JCPOA agreement, seemed to change everything. Six world powers, the permanent United Nations Security Council members plus Germany, struck a deal with Iran that promised to limit nuclear activities in exchange for economic relief. What did this groundbreaking agreement actually do? It capped Iran's uranium enrichment levels and stockpiles, the very materials that caused global concern. The deal went further, restricting Iran's centrifuges, the spinning machines that transform uranium into nuclear fuel. Perhaps most importantly, it opened Iran's doors to international inspectors, creating unprecedented transparency. Then came the shocking twist of 2018. The first Trump administration walked away from the deal, leaving allies stunning and agreement hanging by a thread. What happened next? Sanctions slammed back into place, and Iran began abandoning its commitments step by step. This diplomatic roller coaster reveals how fragile international agreements truly are in today's world. Don't miss the bigger story here. BRICS nations are steadily challenging the old Western dominated world order, building new frameworks for global governance. At the technical heart of this controversy, uranium enrichment, the process that transforms ordinary uranium into something far more potent. How does it work? Scientists increase the concentration of uranium-235 from its natural 0.7% to levels that can power reactors or, in theory, weapons. What tools make this possible? Iran's nuclear toolkit includes gas centrifuges that spin uranium into more potent forms. The program also employs heavy water reactors and facilities to manufacture nuclear fuel, all critical pieces of the nuclear puzzle. Iran hasn't stood still. It's raced ahead with increasingly advanced centrifuge designs that enrich uranium more efficiently than ever. Here is the dilemma that keeps diplomats awake at night. These same technologies can produce both electricity and explosive devices. This dual-use nature sits at the heart of international tensions. Can Iran be trusted with the technology that serves both peaceful and military purposes? The world's response: a web of sanctions that has squeezed Iran's economy from all sides. These measures imposed by the United Nations, the United States, and European Union have targeted key sectors of Iran's economy, including oil exports, financial transactions, and technology transfers. The economic pain has been real. Iran's oil exports have plummeted and revenues have dried up. Ordinary Iranians feel the squeeze through soaring prices, crashing currency values, and isolation from global financial systems. Yet Iran has proven remarkably resilient. How? By building a resistance economy and turning to partners like China and Russia, who are less concerned with Western priorities. And how the potential role of BRICS in this context is significant. With economic giants like China and India in its corner, Iran gains access to markets, investments, and diplomatic backing that Western sanctions cannot touch. Iran's nuclear program has profound implications for regional security in the Middle East. Neighboring countries, particularly Israel and Saudi Arabia, view Iran's nuclear ambitions as a significant threat to their security interests. This perception has led to increased military spending and modernization efforts in the region. It has also sparked exploration of nuclear options by other Middle Eastern countries. The situation has created heightened tensions and the risk of regional conflicts. Where do the BRICS nations fit into this dangerous puzzle? They are not just watching from the sidelines, they are reshaping the game itself. What we are witnessing is nothing less than seismic shift in global power dynamics. These nations are standing tall, asserting their sovereignty in ways that directly counter Western influence. How? By building alternative security structures that reflect their own values, while forging economic partnerships that challenge Western dominated institutions. Iran's membership in BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization gives it a powerful platform and a multilateral shield against Western pressure. What's emerging? A robust platform for South South cooperation that could create the more equitable world order many emerging nations have long desired. Iran's nuclear program symbolizes these profound power shifts. The real story isn't about technology, it's about who controls global governance. Are we witnessing the birth of a truly multipolar world? This new landscape demands we rethink everything about global security. The stakes couldn't be higher. Understanding these dynamics is essential for navigating our era's defining challenges. Thanks for joining us on this ride through some pretty complex geopolitical stuff. Here at Think BRICS, we are just a bunch of passionate volunteers driven by dedication, not money. Your support is really appreciated, whether it's through YouTube Super Thanks or via our Buy Me a Coffee page, sharing this video or just giving it a like. Together, we are changing the way global stories are told. Show your support today, and thanks for watching.